Today we are going to study service blueprinting. Now, what is service blueprinting? Useful technique for designing and specifying intangible service processes. So, as we know, services are intangible. So, services are difficult to understand. Services are difficult to see and difficult to show. So, how we are going to understand what is happening at the front, what is happening at the back side of the uh, office, in the office, what is happening, how that service is performed at the backstage, how it is processed. So we only can see customer, how customer is interacting with the service provider, but at the backstage, how services are processing, we do not understand. So to make it understand, we have a service blueprint. I'll show you some examples of the service blueprint, that after that you will understand. So you can see four lines. So there are four rows. At the first row, you will have customer action, customer interaction. When customer comes towards the service provider, and service provider will interact with you. That's why it is called line of interaction. First line is line of interaction, where customer comes and customer interacts with the employee. So most of the part is visible at this place. But if you see the second row, so there we have a employee interaction. In the second row we have an employee, and employee is performing the services. He is delivering the services, and he is interacting with the customer. So at number second, we have a employee actions. In number 3 row, at number 3 row, second line is also called line of visibility. So that part is visible because we can see the service provider. That's why it is written that it is a line of visibility. At number 3, which is happening at the backstage, which is mostly invisible, we have an employee action. So employee takes the order, and at the backstage he has to perform some operations. So the operation parts which is not visible will come in third row. So that is called employee actions, backstage or invisible actions of the employee. It is also called, that line is also called line of internal interaction. So whatever is happening internally, which is not visible, so that is because it is invisible, it is called line of internal interaction. So at the last row, we have support processes. So we may require some processing, we may require some equipment, we may require some approval from the top or from the government or from the various places. So that is support process that company is providing to that particular employee. So at the last stage, in the last row, we have a support process. So I hope you have understood. Again, we'll see some practical examples. Like suppose if you go to any hotel, so this is blueprint for overnight hotel stay service. So when you go to any hotel and you want to stay over there for one night, so you in the first place you will go to the parking, hotel exterior parking. So then you will arrive at the hotel. Then you will look for the bags, how to take the bags to that particular room. So you call the bell boy or bell person, and you will ask him to take the bags to your room. So that person, bell boy or any employee of that particular organization, will greet you, smile at you, and welcome you. Then he will take the bags from you. So then you have to check in. Then you have to check in at the desk registration, at the desk, and registration will happen. You have to fill some papers. You will be there at the lobby. You will collect the key. So registration will happen. It is called check-in. So process of registration will be completed, and for that we require registration system. That registration system you will find in the last row, okay, in the fourth row, because that is a support system. So then you will use elevators and you will go to the room. By the time that bellboy or the employee, any employee of the particular hotel, they'll take the bags to the room. Then you will receive the bag at the room, and that bag will be delivered at the room. Then you will sleep, you will take the shower, you will sleep, you will use the amenities of that particular hotel for one particular night. Then after using the facilities, you may call the room services, you may ask for the menu, and you may place the order for the food, for the meal, for the dinner. Then they'll prepare the food in their kitchen. So kitchen is again a support system. That's why we put that kitchen in in the fourth row. So in the fourth row, you can see preparation of the food. Then that food will be delivered to you in your room, and you will receive the food from any of their waiter or any of their employee. Then you will eat the food, then you will sleep, and in the morning you have to check out. So you will pay the bill at the desk, you will stay there in the lobby for some time, you will enjoy the exterior of the that particular hotel. You may take photos, or you may say goodbye to the people who are serving you, and you will check out and leave that particular hotel. So all these things which customer is doing will be in the first row. The way employee are interacting to the customer, we have showed in the second row, which is visible. And at the backstage, some tasks will be performed at the backstage, like taking bags to the room, preparation of the food, that is somewhat invisible, but that are not the support system. That's why we are kept those actions in the third row, that is invisible part. So in the support process, we have a registration system by the software, then preparation of the food at the kitchen, and again at the checkout, we again using that particular software registration system. So similarly, for other systems also, for banking, for telecom services, for all the such a services, maybe healthcare services, we can draw such a blueprint. And it is not like that you have to draw the perfect system. Only the thing is you have to involve all the activities, all the processes. So for express mail delivery service, again we have one more blueprint that you can study in your free time. Then for the DVD rental kiosk, again we have one more blueprint again that you can check. So these are the few examples of the blueprint. It is I have shown in the beginning because you have to understand what blueprinting, what service blueprinting is. So now that you have understood what a service blueprinting is, now we can go with the concept, with the understanding of the concept. A useful technique for designing and specifying intangible service processes. So all the activities, all the processes are specified, are shown, are depicted in the service blueprinting. So service blueprinting is nothing but the map or a flow chart or a picture. A service blueprint visually displays the service by simultaneously depicting the process of service delivery. So you have to depict that how that particular process is happening. So process of service delivery is shown in that particular service blueprint. Then it is also shown points of customer contact. So points of customer contacts are also there, is also highlighted at you just have seen in the row number 1. We have points of customer contact. Then roles of customers and the employees. So roles of the customer employees are highlighted in row 1 and in row 2. So again it is clearly shown, clearly depicted, clearly portrayed in that particular picture or flow chart. Then we have visible elements of the services, and also we have invisible elements of these services, and also we are showing the support system which is there. So everything is there to understand that particular service, how that service work is depicted, portrayed, shown in that particular service blueprint. So what is the benefit of the service blueprint? You will know what service is. You can see the roles of the people, employees and the customer. Then you understand all the steps flowed in that particular service. So step by step, all the processes, all the activities are shown in that particular service blueprint. So why we are having a service blueprint? Because to describe and depict the services. So many a times we use some word like if you want to understand portfolio management, if you want to understand brokerage services, investment services, equity, then we only say we are going to invest your money in a good stocks, and then you will get good return. So that is very simple way to describe the service, and in that all the functions, all the roles, all the contact points are not shown. That's why we are using service blueprint, because it is very difficult to understand services, how they are happening, how they are performing. Then to have a clear picture, to have a transparency, to make it understand more clearly. That's why we have a service blueprint. It is helpful in the service innovation, in concept development. So we have discussed service innovation. In that, we have a concept development stage. In the concept development stage, service blueprint is specifically useful, because to we have an idea and we have to make it, idea should be converted into concept. So there, if you use blueprint, it will be very much helpful, because all the people will understand what you are doing, what you are saying. So at the time of service innovation, we can use service blueprint. That is very helpful for us. A stumbling block in the service innovation, design and development is the difficulty of describing and depicting the service at the concept development, service development and market test stages. So not only in the concept development it is useful, in all the stages of the service innovation, blueprint is useful, specifically service development and test marketing. Now, as we said, it is useful in concept development, service development, and test marketing. So, next point is one of the keys to matching the service specification to customer expectation is the ability to describe the critical service. So, what are the specification we have? What all things we are doing in the service that should be matched with the expectation of the customer. So, by looking at the service blueprint, we will understand whether we are able to match the customer expectation with the service we have. So one of the keys to matching the service specification to customer expectation is the ability to describe the critical service process characteristics objectively and to depict them so that employees, customers and managers alike know what the service is and can see their roles and can understand all the steps and flows involved in the service process. So basically, to make it, to ensure that we are providing what customer is expecting, our services are providing everything what customer is expecting. To ensure that we have a service blueprint which depict, portray or clearly show us that what we are doing is the expectation of the customers. So when we want to talk to the employees, when we want to talk to the customers, and when we want to talk to the manager or want to make them understand something, that point of time, this service blueprint is very much useful. Now, what is a service blueprint? Service blueprint is a picture or a map or the flow chart that portrays the customer experience and the service system so that different people involved in providing the service can understand it objectively. So it is nothing but a picture. It is nothing but a map. It is nothing but the flow chart in which customer experience, how customer will experience that particular service, how we are going to provide that particular service, what are the roles of that particular employee at the backstage, which what all activities will happen, and how the uh, how we are going to provide help to that particular employee in performing that particular service is shown clearly, objectively. It is not subjective, it is objective. Subjective is something which is opinion, which can be shown, which cannot be described. But objective when you are doing something objectively, then you are doing it step by step and everything is visible. It provides a way to break service down into its logical components and to depict the steps or tasks in the process, the means by which tasks are executed, and evidence of the service as customer experience it. So if you want to prepare blueprint, you have to break down all the you have to break down that particular service in various steps. That steps should be logical. Not all the steps are required. Only logical and meaningful steps are shown, and how that steps we are going to perform is also shown. Only the thing is we have to categorize these services into visible, non-visible, and support system part. Now, from where blueprint has originated, blueprinting is multidisciplinary activity, and it has originated from various fields like logistic, industrial engineering, decision theory, computer system analysis, software engineering. All these subjects, all these disciplines has contributed to give birth to the blueprinting, or to innovate or originate blueprinting. Because services are experiences rather than the objects or technologies, blueprinting is a particularly useful technique for describing them. So we know that blue services are experiences, services are actions, services are the performances, services are the deeds. So they are intangible. To make them understand, we have a service blueprint, and in service blueprint, we are showing various processes, we are showing various points of contacts, and we are showing evidences. So, what are the blueprint components? As we have already seen the example of that particular hotel stay, now we can say that there are customer actions, there are employee actions, then some activities are happening on stage, some activities are happening at the backstage, and some activities are visible, some activities are visible, some tasks to be performed by the customer, some tasks to be performed by the employee. At the backstage, we have many invisible activities, actions which are performed by the employees, various different employees. Not only one employee, whereas many employees can be a part of that particular service. And we have support processes like softwares, registration system, kitchen. Like these are far away. These are not visible to the customer. The conventions of for drawing service blueprints are not rigidly defined. So there are not a set of rules and regulation how to prepare service blueprint. Everything is not in black and white. Everything is not hard and fast. So you can draw as per your convenience that particular blueprint. You can use sign symbols as per your convenience. Only the thing is the person who is reading that particular blueprint, understanding that particular blueprint, it should be easy for him to understand. Thus the particular symbols are used, whatever symbols, signs, conventions you want to use, like arrows, that you can use. Thus, the particular symbols use the number of horizontal lines in the blueprint, and the labels for each part of the blueprint may vary somewhat depending on the complexity of that particular process. So here we have already discussed, we have we have a one particular blueprint, how blueprint looks like. So if you see the all the components, if you want to see the all the components of the blueprint, we have prepared a blank blueprint. So this is just a sample, and we just discussed that there are four parts, four rows we have. At the first row we have a customer interaction. At the second row we have a employee interaction, employee actions. In the first row we have a customer action. Then we have a at the second row we have a employee actions, which is happening at the on stage, which is visible part. And there is one more row which is there are some tasks which are invisible to the customers, which are happening at the backstage. Again, these actions are performed by the employee, so that we have kept in the third row. And at the fourth row we have a support processes like registration system, like kitchen, or softwares, various softwares, or maybe some approvals you might want to take from the government. to perform that particular services. So accordingly we have three lines to make it four rows. We have a three lines. First line is line of interaction, which is in between customer action and employee action, which are visible. Then we have a second line that is called line of visibility, which you will find at the in between employee action, which are visible, and employee action, which are invisible. So invisible actions of the employee are separated from the visible actions of the employee to the customer by line of visibility. Then again we have one more line, that is third line, which is line of internal interaction. Line of interaction, internal interaction separate support processes from the employee invisible actions. So line of interaction will separate customer action from the employee action. Line of visibility will separate employee visible actions and employee invisible action. Again, line of internal interaction will separate employee invisible action and support processes. So again we have few example like express mail delivery services, hotel stay blueprint of hotel stay services, overnight hotel stay services, and DVD rental kiosk. So this is service blueprinting. I hope you have understood this uh, topic.